Hello, Fairfield. Here you are, once again, joining us with another exciting episode of Fairfield 2.0. And this one is going to be I know it's going to be a depressing, sad one because nobody here has a sense of humor, including me. It's just going to be a bummer, but, hang in there. It just might turn the corner. You never know. We have Haven with us. The group Haven, they're playing everywhere. They're playing at every facility we have in the city. We may have to build a new facility in order to get them another couple of places. And let's introduce Haven right now. We have Mr. Joe Overmeyer over there. Yay! And Mr. Tom Todar, the eighth man, over here. Yes. Wait a minute. Everybody. Come on, man. We have Casper Huggins. Fairfield hero, and also over here we have the very, very lovely. Wow. Should I have stopped like 3 lovelies ago? She's ready. Rebecca Haven. Yay! All right, see, depressing show. Yeah, you might as well just tune it out right now. Turn it off. This is a really sweet thing for me. You've been playing everywhere. I've been enjoying every performance. I think I've seen every performance now by you guys.
Awesome.
That's
awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Unless there's been like a car wash or a dog wash thing, I haven't caught that you've been playing at. But you seriously have been.
We're
playing
doing that
everywhere.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, the dog wash.
Every performance.
Well, not every performance. Hey, let's be real here. They get to practice sometimes. Now, I'm looking at the instruments. Look, we've got an accordion. We've got a ukulele. We have that's actually Doug Daller. Doug Daller's ukulele. Doug Daller, of course, having been a veteran of Fairfield 2.0. And we have a cornet. This is not a trumpet. It's a cornet. We'll talk about all that later. And all these instruments, interestingly enough, belong to Mr. Casper Huggins over here. Ladies and gentlemen, Casper Huggins. Once again, let's start all the way over there with the interview segment of the show, because there's going to be like a little baby concert later, a good chunk, like a half an hour's worth. So hang in there at the end of the show because there's going to be a lot of music. Mr. Joseph Overmeyer, otherwise known as Josie Overmeyer's Papa,
the proud Papa.
The proud Papa. I need to ask somebody about the origins of the group, and I think, Rebecca, I'm going to have to ask you that. But let's start over here as far as Fairfield. This is Fairfield 2.0. What is your history in Fairfield? You're a lifer.
No.
They're not a lifer.
I lived in Connecticut and worked in New York City and just moved back 5 years ago. And my wife and Josie joined me here about 3 years ago. So, yeah.
Cool. What did you do before that? What did you do in Connecticut and New York?
In New York City, and my entire career, I sold rare violins. I worked for the biggest violin shops in the world, Bayan and Fushi, and then a famous one in New York called Mockhold's Rare Violins.
Wow. Now, you sold them basically you didn't go store to store, obviously. You had accounts that were there for...
We dealt with all the famous classical musicians and symphonies, and people would visit our shop from all over the world. We had the world-class instruments.
Did you have folks like Yo-Yo Ma or folks like that?
Positively.
Who are some name drop? Who are some? We do that
Joshua
often here.
Bell, Itzhak Perlman, Yo-Yo Ma, Pinkas Zuckerman.
Pinkas Zuckerman. Nice.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I
we dealt with everyone.
Say more.
I thought he was just like a mailman or something.
The great Guarneris and
I thought he
all
sold
the great
diabetes
instruments.
testing supplies.
How old was Stradivarius? What is the oldest Stradivarius that you had, you think?
Well, it's maybe like 1667, 1670 maybe.
And how much does that go for, like a couple hundred?
No, the Strads are
Millions.
millions.
Millions?
Yeah, millions.
Oh, take them away. You could get one from... And they're old. You want one from like 1999.
Those are old.
Yeah.
We don't-
Have you played... And you've played... Obviously, you play...
I know more about the repair and restoration of instruments. I played a little, but I went through a repair program, and I know how to repair them, although I was more skilled as a salesman, and we had other really world-class repairers, so I stuck with sales.
Can I ask you, this is going to seem like an odd question, but what is the worst shape instrument you've had to repair, and like magic did you repair it?
Well, that's interesting, because these instruments can really be repaired. They can be almost run over by a truck and splinters, and you can glue them and put them in molds and reshape them. So yeah, we've had terrible condition instruments.
Because you know that happens, of course, in situation comedies and movies all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the truck runs over the violin,
Yeah.
and, the Stradivarius. It's always a Stradivarius,
Sure.
of course. Have you been tempted to? Do you know how to play those instruments?
A little bit.
Okay.
I'm not, just.
So when you when you give it back to the owner after it's been repaired, you don't like show him how it's like here let me play you how good it sounds now.
Sure, we had
You
people
do
that were capable. We had people in the store who could do that. People at our shop who were really fine musicians. So sure.
Are there some who are? Is violin one of those instruments? I know guitar can be, where the owner is a little more picky about who touches it and who who repairs it, who spends time with it, other than them because of the vibe thing.
Sure. Well, just because they're so valuable, you wouldn't
Well, there's the
entrust
value.
them to just anyone to work on them. They're
Yes.
just we're talking some instruments worth $10 million.
10
You
million?
don't take that to the corner music stores.
Right.
You come to the.
You don't go to
experts.
Music Inn for that.
No.
Okay. Speaking of that, did you guys ever have relationships? Did you also work with the smaller stores or obviously not Sam Ash's? I imagine you would also have a little bit of interaction with too, right?
Somewhat, but
Down the channel.
they're not so much. They didn't deal with violins so much. They're more guitars and keyboards, drums, and things like that.
And in Connecticut, same kind of thing. You were
No, I lived in Connecticut, worked in New York
worked in
City.
New York,
I
okay.
just commuted back and forth.
cool.
Yeah, I lived
That
in
is
Coscob.
where?
Coscob, Connecticut.
Coscob.
I always like to say that. I like that. It's like
I
an
love
Indian name.
It's very cool. Much like a Tumwa.
Kind
Or
of.
nothing like it at all. I want to also ask you, before that, what was your history? You've been a musician too a lot of your life, right?
Well, not really. I was a musician early on, and then I got sidetracked. I got into the business end of it, and I really never played till just recently, since I've come back to Fairfield.
Wow.
I finally retired and could start playing, but no, most of the time I was just in, traveling, and I used to travel a lot to Korea and Japan, Hong Kong, and Taiwan I would go to.
Wow.
Yeah, so I traveled a lot.
You traveled a lot. Did you? What kind of a gig was it? Was it the same kind of gig you had when you were in Connecticut? Was it when you said the business end? It's the same
Sure,
kind of thing?
I've been in this business for about 35 years. So I spent my entire career just with violins and
Wow.
with these,
Nice.
so it's been my whole thing.
Tom Todar, the eighth man. Does anyone remember Tobor the eighth man? Nobody gets that.
Todar the Barbarian.
Todar the Barbarian, if you'd like. But,
Get it right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get it
Tom, what's your history?
My history. Oh wow. Well,
Every
you mean
bit.
as
Don't
far
leave
as
a bit
like
out.
yeah, I'm like hold on. Well, I was born in 1965. We lived on a small no.
Go on.
My history as far as like coming to Fairfield or
Your history, your whole life.
oh my god.
Your whole life. All right, start with Fairfield.
I
We'll
can't
work
possibly.
backwards. Fairfield. How'd you end up in Fairfield?
Well, I have my ex-sister-in-law who's Kelly Custard. She was married to my brother for 13 years, and they had two kids, Darius and Alaris Todar. And I just had been working in the restaurant business my whole life, managing restaurants, and I'm a chef by trade.
Oh, I applaud you being a chef, sir.
I went
Tommy's
to
wonderful.
culinary school in Scottsdale, and anyway, I came to visit one day, and I was just burnt out on I don't know. I lived in El Paso, Texas, and it's kind of a dangerous place, and the environment and everything, and I was just really burnt out on just the desert and everything. I just wanted to change, so I came to visit Fairfield about almost 7 years now. It's crazy. I've been here that long. Yeah. And had no intention of staying here. I just came to visit. And when I left, I remember I was actually I felt like I was going to break down because I didn't want to leave.
This was 7 years ago,
Yeah, that was 7 years ago. Yeah. And I just loved it so much. And so I went back home, and then Kelly was like, well, why don't you come stay with us for a month? And I had an apartment there. I had, fully furnished apartment and everything. And I went back, put my 2 weeks notice in, packed everything I could in my car, put all my stuff in storage, put everything I could in my car, like my TV and like my clothes and my instruments, and just got out of there and drove to Fairfield. I was still paying on the apartment that I had in El Paso.
In El Paso.
Yeah, and
You let it lease out?
yeah, I just basically let it lease out. I couldn't find anyone to sublet it for some reason, and so I was paying like $400 a month.
Ooh.
You know,
I hear you.
but
yeah.
and then I started working at Revelations about 5 years ago, and they took me in, and they were, you know, it was like family. They treated me really well, and I went through a lot of healing process, and Fairfield's really good for that, and so I don't know. I've been here ever since, and I worked at Revelations for like 5 years. I was a kitchen manager there for a little while, and then I just kind of got burnt out on restaurants and put my 2 weeks in there and started landscaping.
Cool.
And that kind of took
I'm
off
doing
too.
the manly work.
Yeah, so I did that for about a year. I'm still kind of doing that, but I'm getting older and my back, you know, starting to feel it. So I'll probably get back into cooking here pretty soon.
Well, I wanted to tell you when I was about to rudely interrupt before. We have a show. It's probably, I don't know if it's started to air yet, but here on FMC's Channel 9 and also on the internet, FairfieldMediaCenter.com, I believe it is. Jason. Yes. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Strong, the man behind the curtain. He's raising his arm like that. We have a show that's going to be on with Steve Boss. And is it Catherine Dubois? Is that his cohort? I believe it is. And if I'm offending Catherine Dubois, I'm really sorry. But I believe it's the two of them. And they have the Great Taste show that broadcasts. It's been broadcasting forever on KRUU.
Yeah.
Solar powered Crew FM, which is at 100.1 in your FM dial. And so now it's sort of being imported as a visual too for Fairfield. And I was going to suggest, now I'll get to the point, Tom Todar. I just want to say that. It's a great last name. So Tom Todar. You should maybe hook up with Steve because you have this would be really an interesting.
Great. Yeah. That'd be fun.
You hear that, Steve? Oh, am I talking out of turn here? No, you guys. I think it would be fun. And he does a show live from High V every Wednesday night. So probably the best thing to do is to kind of pop on by, and we could do all of the handy dandy introductions. I'm looking at Jason, and he's going. All right, enough of that. But all right, I'm going to get to how everybody hooked up through Rebecca, if that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Casper Huggins. I am so in awe of you. You are one of my favorite musicians ever. I invited him to. Here's my funny story. I'm gonna throw it out there. The truth may hurt, but it's the truth nevertheless.
Okay.
I wanted Casper to play with a kind of rock thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to play Cafe P a while back, and I was trying to get an ensemble of musicians, and I had, they were all very, they were very, very sweet. They all said, "Oh yeah, Michael, we'll back you up." Yeah, blah blah blah. So then I give the CDR a CDR burn of what I thought the songs were going to be for this thing, and one by one they all started going, Mike, I got something to do that night. I totally forgot when I told you that I could. It rocked a little too hard, I think, or it had an attitude. Sometimes I do a little, tongue-in-cheek type of stuff, and those are my favorite artists, whether it be Randy Newman or Bob Hillman or any of those kind of artists. So anyway, I think I scared off a lot of people, and I think I scared you off, Casper, and I'm sorry. But someday we still have to play. I'm such in awe of your musicianship, and you're so loved in this town. You're like, I accused your daughter on her show of being the daughter of Fairfield. I think you're the son of Fairfield. I think that's how that works. So I do appreciate all of your musicianship. Now, how did you did you grow up here? Are you a Dome baby?
I wasn't born in the Dome.
See where this is going to go. I love this. He's so cool. You weren't born in the Dome.
That's good.
But
see, now
I was born in Fairfield. And I graduated from FHS in 2006. And then I moved to New Mexico, and kind of like Tom, I wandered around in the desert for a while, and they got burnt out on it. And well, maybe I was wandering around.
There were some occasions where I was wandering around in the desert, going, "Where am I?"
The desert of El Paso.
Time to go home.
But yeah, so then when I was out there, I thought I wanted to study animation because I'd always drawn a lot, and and then I just got more into music, and and then I started I played guitar kind of in high school, and then I played guitar more, and then I moved back to Fairfield, and I was living in the depot building that burned down a while ago. But when I was living there, I had this hallway next to my room, and I think it was around that time I started sort of collecting instruments and playing them, and started getting into playing different instruments and stuff. And then, I met Nate Hedrick, who's Joe's daughter's boyfriend.
Nate.
He played...
Who we have to have on this show, too.
Yeah, he played upright bass, and we started playing together, and played with Josie, and then we went on tour last summer, I think.
Yeah.
And that was really fun.
Where did you go? What was some? This was where Dominic set some of these dates up, right?
Yeah,
Dominic Ravelay, of course.
Yeah,
Of
we
the
went
famous
to
Ravelays.
we went to Iowa.
Oh,
And
I've heard of that.
Minnesota and Michigan.
I've heard of them too.
Yeah, several places.
Nice.
Cool. And after coming back from the road, you were that much more seasoned, I imagine.
Yeah, I actually went on tour before with another group called the Most Wonderful People Ever when I lived in Roswell. I lived in Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh my God. All right, here we go. I have to ask Roswell, New Mexico. Tell us about Roswell, New Mexico.
It's
Oh man.
about 50,000 people, and it's pretty
We think they're people.
yeah.
Right, exactly. Some of them are gray and they have these big heads and black.
Yeah, they really market the alien thing. They have this UFO festival, and my favorite thing about it is they have sometimes replica. They have a lot of conspiracy theory stuff, and they also have science fiction related stuff.
Yeah.
And I've always been a big Star Wars fan, and they had outside of CC's Pizza, they had a life-size replica of Boba Fett's ship. And you can go inside, and there was Sharper Image used to sell these life-size Han Solo frozen in carbonite things, and they had that inside.
Which everyone should own, actually.
Yeah.
I've a cool tribute to every house.
And yeah, so that's probably, and then I don't know, like mainly what I did there was just work in restaurants as like a waiter, and like just go out in the desert and stuff, and like I was kind of really into like guns for a while, and like we'd go out and like shoot like bottles off of like
Really?
abandoned oil
Don't say
rigs
too
and
much,
stuff.
Casper.
Guns, huh?
Don't sell
Well,
too much.
No, just as like a recreational hobby, and like and then I moved to Albuquerque for a while, and it was overwhelming because it was a big city and stuff, and I don't know. Then I moved back to Fairfield, and
Yeah. Your parents were still here. Your family was here, maybe still. Right?
yeah. Well, my mom lives here. She's the director of the public library here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I did not know.
yeah. She's really
I'm
nice.
learning about my community.
And
Through Fairfield 2.0.
yeah, so
Nice.
been here.
Nice. The
a couple
Roswell thing
years.
is wonderful because I'm a big huge sci-fi fan. And whenever a guest comes on, as far as my show with the pop stars and jazz folks and all that,
Yeah.
when that show on Crew, whenever I have them phone in, I think I've had conversations with a few of them where they'll drop something like Battlestar Galactica or something, and I'll go, the ears will go whoop, and I'll be like, Battlestar Galactica. Oh boy, you're speaking my language, and we'll have like another half-hour conversation based on sci-fi. So we
Yeah.
could do that right now. I know we don't have the time. Jason's going. Okay, great. Roswell, there was a series called Roswell, a television series that I used to watch
remember that.
religiously. I loved it. It was a very, very
Sure.
sweet series. And I remember it was on I don't think it was on 3 networks, but it was on like 2.5 networks, I think, during its run, because they couldn't, like Fox got it after the WB, I think at the time they called themselves, as
Yeah.
opposed to the CW, whatever. Do you guys even care? I'm going to stop right there. So sci-fi has been a big thing. I love that someone I know has actually lived in Roswell. How long did you live there?
Seemed like a long time.
Longer than Fairfield?
Seemed like it. No, maybe like 3 years or 2 years or something.
When you were there, did you make music also?
Yeah, I was in sort of a electronic, like lots of effects pedals, guitar delay stuff, very noisy kind of vibe.
Sort of like alternative-y, indie-ish?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went on tour for like a month
No.
with this band called The Most Wonderful People Ever. And
right.
my friend Alfredo Torres is probably out there somewhere.
Hi, Alfredo.
And yeah, he's pretty cool. He likes a lot of experimental stuff. He plays like the saw with a violin bow. And
Does he have a
things like
theremin?
he probably does by now. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I love that you knew exactly.
Yeah, those are
Like one of those.
Well, speaking of sci-fi
Those are cool.
movies and all that, do you theremin and you
Yeah.
bond? Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to get
thought
to
a theremin
one more
was a
second. We have
hormone.
one more question for Casper Huggins. You've had some lessons, but you're really mostly self-taught, right?
Yeah, I've taken I took a couple guitar lessons when I was first starting out on guitar at Field of Dreams in town with Chris Hunter, and he taught me the basics, like how to hold a pick and stuff, and that was when I was in high school. And then before that, I played trumpet in middle school, but I stopped playing in high school because I didn't want to be in marching band. I only wanted to be in jazz band.
Yeah.
And you had to get up at like 6 in the morning and do choreography. So if the Fairfield High School band director's listening, you should like give kids the option of what they want to do, because not as many people would quit.
There you go.
No offense. Just saying.
I just want to. I'm not going to. I know that you may be sensitive to that, but this is such a cool instrument. Now, this is not a trumpet. This is
It's a cornet. Yeah, like hornet, but cornet. And the main difference, this is a 1952 model.
Something older than me. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
made in Elkhart, Indiana, where
Jason,
most
first
horns
hold.
are made.
Oh, I never
And,
noticed.
Where was it? I
Designs
interrupted.
up
Where?
there.
Indiana.
Yeah, Elkhart, Indiana. And it's just the main difference. The overall length in this and the trumpet is the same, but it has trumpet has what's called a cylindrical bore. So starting here and getting to about here. In the trumpet, it's the same width. In the cornet, like a French horn, it's conical bore. So it starts slightly narrower and gradually gets wider, which makes the air spiral in a different way.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
slightly different sound.
Okay. And then
More
we-
Dixieland.
More Dixieland, and then we have the ukulele. I don't know what I'm doing here. This is your. This is
Yeah.
Dallas actually. Right?
Actually,
Well,
I've,
Becca-
I've-
Oh, okay.
Becca's the uke
Becca,
pro.
we're gonna get to.
I don't really play
Shit.
it much. Just a little.
Oh my God! Oh my God! And an accompaniment.
There you go.
Tom, we didn't ask you. You know what? I'm very sad that I
Why?
did this. I didn't ask you too much about your musical history.
Oh.
What got you into music?
My brother is extremely talented musician.
So it's
and,
his fault.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. I mean, I just when I was a kid going to his shows and and watching him and just trying to emulate my bigger brother,
Oh, cool.
and started playing, I guess, when I was like 15, somewhere around there.
Like electric guitar, acoustic guitar.
Everything, yeah,
Okay.
electric guitar. I had a little garage band, in high school and all that stuff, and we played all like Led Zeppelin and like all those old classic rock songs, AC/DC and
Bad Company.
stuff like that. Bad Company, oh yeah, and
I don't
just
know why
all,
Bad Company's one of my guilty pleasures.
just
I love
all my
it.
friends, we all had electric guitars, and it was a cool thing to do, and and it just kind of progressed from there.
Nice.
And I don't know, just enjoy playing. I kind of went through a phase where I didn't play for a long time, but Fairfield has a way of kind of bringing that out of you because there's so much talent here. There's so many musicians, and there's so much, so many people that just want to create and make music. And
Yeah.
if it works well, and there's a lot of chemistry, and for whatever reason it comes together, it's really cool. And so
Nice.
it kind of gives you the inspiration to it's given me a lot more inspiration to write. I mean, I've been writing more songs lately than I've written in 2 or 3 years. So
And we're going to be hearing a couple of those at the end of the show, which is nice.
Exactly.
In the concert segment, which brings us to, by the way, we're talking with the group Haven, Fairfield of Fairfield. No, wait, I was going somewhere else with that. The group was formed by all of you, I guess, getting together at some point, figuring out, hey, we should be making music together. Joe, I'd always see you in Cafe P playing with the
Yeah.
Irish, doing the Irish music thing at 3 o'clock
Sure.
every Sunday virtually. while Steve Giacomini was like doing the tension rope walk thing in the park. I used to
I
love
remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I was like scared. I was like, don't hurt yourself. Oh, I can't watch. But he was great. He was like, he had that down. Getting back to Rebecca Haven. Rebecca Haven, everybody.
Yay!
Now this group is called Haven. Your name is Rebecca Haven. Is that a coincidence?
Kind of. I don't know. We were trying to come up with a band name, and it just kind of fit. Like all of us love each other.
Yeah,
and
it just like
It's a
it's
Haven.
like a It
Nice.
is.
All
They,
right.
they didn't like my idea of Bumblebee Kamikaze.
Nope.
Bumblebee
It
Kamikaze.
got voted down.
shut down.
Yeah.
Bumblebee Kamikaze. Note to self: Bumblebee Kamikaze. No, I love that. I love that your group has a vibe that's a really connect when you're on stage. Like a lot of the bands that seem like they're very. Where there's a synergy with everybody. There's a connection, a bond between everybody. Your band actually, your group actually, you have that. You can see it. You can see the rapport between everybody. It's really wonderful. It's like you've been playing together for like 10 years.
Thank you.
And and it's just so sweet, and your voice is amazing, and you have an amazing history. It isn't. Let's get into the music part first. And by the way, you are the daughter of another Fairfield, and you are another daughter of Fairfield, aren't you?
Daughter of Fairfield.
Glenn Chumley,
I'm a dome orphan.
a dome orphan. Okay.
Make sure you spell that right.
Glenn Chumley, of course, records, has been the documentarian, I would say,
Yeah.
of virtually all of the, or a lot of the musical events that happen in town. And people want to throw him money once in a while. And he goes, no, I'm doing this because I love this. I'm
He
doing
will
this.
take money, but
But he will take money.
no, he has a YouTube channel called Fairfield Rocks Me, and then he's also got Fairfield Country and Fairfield Dance.
Oh. And he does take money. So just remember this. I wish he was here today because he's another person that I would love to interview. We got to get him on the show at some point.
Yeah, he'd love to. I'm
Oh
sure.
God, and he's such a great guy.
Mhm.
He's been there twice. I sang at Cafe P one night, an open mic thing with Joey Del Rey, and we did "I'm on Fire" the way that me and my musical partner from the '80s, Steve Mosto, used to do. We recorded a version of it with the late Larry London. It was going to be another of our Almost Brothers singles, and then I don't know what happened, but it never came out. But I tried to emulate the version that we did with Joey, and it was just really sweet. It was a good moment, and I'm very close to Joey Del Rey. I think he's one of the most amazing kids in town, guys in town too. He's not a kid anymore, is he? But then he was like, "What do you want to do? You gonna play something?" And I'm like, "I don't want to play anything." He said, "Go play something." No, I don't want to play. Go play something. So it was like I didn't want to play anything, but I did an a cappella version of "A Change Is Gonna Come." And your dad gave me. I just do that once. I love that song, and I feel it very deeply. So I sang it, and that night. People responded nicely. So he gave me a DVD-R of it, and I was so grateful because that was such a beautiful thing. He really preserved something that I'm so happy got preserved. That was a real nice, sweet moment for me personally, singing that in Cafe P. And I'm always grateful to your dad for stuff like that.
Yeah, he does a wonderful service for Fairfield musicians.
All right, enough about Glenn. Now about you. How did you get into music?
I started playing music when I was little, and started writing music when I was little. So I think I've always played. I started piano,
Little. How little?
like 6, 7.
Really? Were you influenced by anybody? Like maybe some of the songs of the time or something?
Well, everyone in my family played music. My grandmother, whose name was Haven, actually, she was a choir director and like organist for my grandpa's church, and so she like influenced our entire family into playing music.
Was it more spiritual or gospel type things at the time?
No, not really. It was whatever my dad was throwing around at me, and like he was really into like the Association and
Oh, cool! Very cool.
Moody Blues and things like that.
Cherish, one of my favorite songs.
Yes.
Nights in White Satin, one of my favorite songs. Right up there. Good taste, Glenn. Nice. This is the show. This is the Glenn Chumley show today. Glenn Chumley. I love that. I love how naturally you are on stage. That you all are. You. That's a given. But Tom, it's been really fun watching you too, because you've been a great. You are very much a presence in the group, also as far as like what you're bringing to it, being a singer-songwriter.
Cool.
But also how you're you're merging with the group. It isn't like you don't have egos that are popping out or anything.
No,
It's
we
really nice.
really the way
Nice
it came
blend.
together was just so natural, and that's the way that's why I didn't really like playing with a lot of people, because everybody's so egotistical a lot, and you get that a lot, and I'm not saying in this town, I'm just saying in general, sometimes it's hard to find musicians that aren't competing with one another. It's just,
Even in Fairfield?
well,
In Fairfield?
not so much.
Yeah, see.
Not so much here. I think more in like where I was from in Texas, it was like that a lot. But a lot of people were really closed-minded. And that's why I like Fairfield so much, because everybody's so open-minded and so, I don't know, it's just been a lot easier here. For me anyway, to find people that resonate, with music. I mean, Joe and I have been playing together. We've done other stuff.
Yeah, we played some bluegrass 3 or 4 years ago.
And Casper and I have played together, periodically over the past 2 years too. So it's not like we're strangers to like playing with each other. And I don't know, there's just a chemistry there. I don't really know how else to explain it.
One of the more important things that I feel is that when you're and I forgot exactly who, maybe Jason will remember, but I forgot who the group was, but we talked about there had to be some sort of a synergy, like an unspoken thing that's going on within the band, where it's sort of like whoever is playing and whoever is doing whatever their piece, their part of the piece is. Everybody kind of knows, everybody feels what that's going to be almost. It's almost like an intuition that's added to a level of, okay, now it's my turn, intuitively. It's like, from the level of, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it now, and then singing from that place, or performing from that place. It's like a beyond thing. And when you've got a group of people that are like locked in like that, that's some of the best jazz improv I've ever seen. They don't even know what they're doing. They don't know what they're going to do next. They stick the instrument, if it's a horn instrument or a wind instrument, they stick it to their mouths and they just start playing and it comes out. And that's sort of my favorite type of stuff. And I feel in a lot of ways, I feel like, especially Human Revolution, was it? I saw you guys perform Human Revolution at the Lord's Cupboard last night. Or rather a month ago at the Sondheim, whenever this is going to air. And it was a really wonderful moment, because I felt like the band is still, I'll be honest here, I feel the band is still finding their way with that song.
Yeah.
But the great thing, the great news is that it's finding its way where you can see the mechanics of it. You can see that, okay, I'm going to do a little of this now, I'm going to do a little of that now. It locked in, like I would say by the end of the song, it locked into what it was going to be. Now it could also be the fact that you guys were playing the Sondheim together for the first time. It could be other things that were going into that mix. But I felt I was really happy to watch. I was watching the process of a song coming together on stage. And then the new song also locked in a way that was like that too. It had a freshness to it, and that's also what I'm saying, is that there was a freshness to Human Revolution also that felt like it was a work in progress, but it was cool to watch a work in progress. And your new song, you guys have played enough now so that the feel locks in. The feel is already there, and now it's just a matter of how is this getting arranged and instrumentated. That's not a word. I give you a lot of kudos, because it does seem like you are the silent leader of the band. I know that you're not doing it with a heavy hand. You're doing it with like, hey, this is cool, guys, and you are great. And I that vibe comes out totally. So I applaud that too. It's so much to applaud. All right, in a couple of seconds, you're going to be hearing the group Haven play a little mini concert. I think we're going to have like a lot of songs, and I'll leave you alone now, except the one thing I wanted to get from each of you, just real quick in like a sentence. Advice for, this is a question I on and off ask people who appear here. Advice for new artists, considering that as a group you're kind of a new group. But advice for new artists, what do you think?
Just play all the time. Play as much as you can. And with different people too.
Cool.
And have fun. That's all I can say. If it's not fun, I don't want to do it. I mean, seriously, that's what it's all about,
What Joe said, play all the time, and also play smart and learn theory and scales and things like that, because people think that that's not important, but it can only help you.
Nice.
I think try new things and play things that aren't in theory, and also like.
Yeah, I tend to disagree with the theory thing only
Experiment.
because I, didn't really take a lot of music theory, but to me it's just frustrating.
You're willing
But
to
he's
go
right
through
though.
the
I mean,
process.
to become a better musician, obviously, you should,
Learn-
it's good to learn.
I guess
You
what
know?
I wanted to. Sorry, my point was like learn why and not just what.
Yeah.
Oh,
It makes
Way to put
sense.
All right, well, we'll stop there, but we have to have you back. We have to have, I think, each of you back, maybe even separately, because there's still so much more to all of your stories. Obviously, because of the timing, we have to cut everything short. Your music business history, I would love to go into. You represented groups for a while, too,
Yep.
and touring acts. We haven't even touched that yet, so you must come back.
And I went to school for music too.
And you went to school for music. Just real quick, we have 1 second left. Just some of the acts that you were working with as far as, well, where did you go to school for music?
In St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Okay, and it was that same area where you ended up with this gig where you were marketing or helping acts?
With the promotions, in the wind promotions, yeah.
Okay. Are there any acts that you were particularly fond of working with?
Charlie Parr. Let's see. There's a few people that have come through here. Caroline Smith and the Goodnight Sleeps, and Lucy Michelle and Velvet Lapels.
Love that.
And
Nice names.
Awesome bands.
Yeah. There's so many.
Okay. So you've also had an education in that direction, in that way too. Nice. All right, let's get to the music. I know you're just like, get to the music already, stop talking. But this has been Fairfield 2.0. But before we leave, I want to reintroduce everybody. This is the group Haven, and you have Joe Overmeyer over there. You have Tom Todar, the eighth man, right over here. And you have Mr. Casper Huggins, son of Fairfield, who we bow to. And also we have Rebecca Haven over here. Poor Casper. All right, so without further ado, and no more abuse towards Casper, we will start the next segment of our show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Casper's go.
Hi, we're Haven, and this song is called Human Revolution.
Cell phone revolution start on Facebook. All it takes is a flip of a switch. When all you need is money, the government won't need a draft. You'll volunteer to murder from the ditch. And when doctors work for money, they don't want you to be well, 'cause they need to pay for their kids' private schools. Did you know when they build prisons that they base the number on the amount of fourth grade minority boys fail in school? Oh, we need a human revolution. No, the 60s just were not good enough. Now the corporations have real human rights, and they're blaming us for asking for free lunch. Yeah, they're blaming us for asking for free lunch. Now we need to talk about the word minority, 'cause it is a loaded racist term. And when statistics compare the color of our skin, there ain't nothing that we can learn. If you wanted to compare something tangible, let's check out the number in the bank. 'Cause only poor people help even poor people. How much does it cost to make a tank? Oh, we need a human revolution. No, the 60s were not good enough. Now the corporations have real human rights. They're blaming us for asking for free lunch. Yeah, they're blaming us for asking for free lunch. Now it is time for you to shrug your shoulders and to say that it's just human nature. But who taught you about human nature? Is it the television maker? Oh yes, the baby boomers, they have failed at making this world a better place. No, we can't be afraid of getting shut down. This is our world, these are our skies, this is our place. Oh, we 60s just were not good enough. Now the corporations have real human rights, and they're blaming us for asking for free lunch. Everybody, oh, we need a human revolution. The 60s just were not good enough. Now the corporations have real human rights, and they're blaming us for asking for free lunch. Oh, we need a human evolution. No, the 60s just were not good enough. Now the corporations have real human rights, and they're blaming us for asking for free lunch. Yeah, they're blaming us for asking for free lunch.
This next song is called Spanish Lullaby. There's a love in my heart that won't be denied. There's a passion that burns so deep inside of me. I watch you dancing gracefully through your day. Your beauty takes my breath away. There's an aching that burns so deep in my soul. I try and I try, but it won't let me go. I never asked to feel like this. I'd die 1,000 deaths for just one kiss. My blonde, blue-eyed angel sent from above. There are no words to describe my love for you. I long to feel your gentle touch. My darling, I love you much too much. And when my time here on this earth is through, my last dying words will be of my love for you. My words but a whisper, they weak on my breath. My darling, I love you till my death.
The song is called The Breakup Song. 1, 2, 3, 4. just be friends. And I really care about you, but this has to be the end. I've got my own problems to deal with. I can't deal with yours. Your issues reflect my own pain, and now we're just picking at our sores. And I really love you, but we have to just be friends. And I really care about you, but this has to be the end. Your kind eyes were what drew me in, and you always keep me laughing. But laughter doesn't always reflect happiness, and fun's not what I'm having. But I really love you, but we have to just be friends. And I really care about you, but this has to be the end. And every time I see you, I forget I'm not supposed to kiss you. I'll regret that my love has not ended yet. I jumped in and now I'm all wet. Well, I really love you, but we have to just be friends. And I really care about you, but this has to be the end. Well, I've learned more about myself and a little too much about you. I'm sorry that I fell so fast, and I forgive you for what you put me through. And I really love you, but we have to just be friends. And I really care about you, but this has to be the end.
This song is called Hurricane by Tom Todar and Rebecca Haven.
She's a hurricane, rolling through my brain. Her blue eyes look right through me, Lord. They can drive a man insane. She's a rainbow, hot through the desert rain. She's a hurricane, rolling through my brain. She moves me, and she crashing wave, rolling over me. Her smile is like the sunlight, Lord. Makes me feel warm and free. She's a gentle wind, blowing out to sea. She's a hurricane, rolling through my brain. And she moves me. And she soothes me. She's a good friend, always there for me. God knows I don't deserve her or the love she's given me. She's my rock, but she never weighs me down. And I'm a lucky man now that she's around. She's a hurricane, rolling through my brain. And she moves me. And she soothes me. She's a hurricane, rolling through my brain.
This song is by Charlie Parr. He's from Duluth, Minnesota. He's a friend of mine, and the song is called Cheap Wine. All these old ladies come in here and buy cheap wine. They ain't no better than all these bums. They come in here and buy cheap wine. Leaning against the counter on a gloomy day, snowfall, clear the sidewalks and the entryway of all the old folks, the bums, the hustlers, and the road kids. And I can't stand the sight of any of them, and I wish I could sell this place, and I wish I could buy a boat and just sail away. All these old ladies come in here and buy cheap wine. They ain't no better than all these bums. They come in here and buy cheap wine. So bad I can go home at night and sometimes sleep. I quit drinking when I wanna. There's no one here to bother me. There's no one here to bother me. So I'll keep the liquor store open past curfew some nights so I don't have to go home. And all these old ladies come in here and buy cheap wine. They ain't no better than all these bums that come in here and buy cheap wine. I never meant to do anything wrong, do any harm. I framed that kid, he wasn't so bright. Drunk all the time. Anyway, they killed him and not me. 'Cause I've got a business to run, and I've got profit here. Well, he had nothing. And all these old ladies come in here and buy cheap wine. They ain't no better than all these bums that come in here and buy cheap wine. I'll open the store an hour before daybreak, and I'll turn all the labels facing out. I'm so tired of all these labels, why don't they just say it? Cheap wine. And all these old ladies come in here and buy cheap wine. They ain't no better than all these bums that come in here and buy cheap wine. Leaning against the counter on a gloomy day, snowfall, clear the sidewalks in the entryway.
This is Aiko Aiko, I think. Aiko!
Jackamo-fina, talk about it now.
Hey now,
Hey now,
hey now, I go honey.
oh,
Jackamo-fina, anane. Jackamo-fina,
talk about hey now,
hey now,
hey now,
hey now,
I go honey. Whoa,
Jackamo-fina, anane. Jackamo-fina,
I go. Talk about hey now,
hey now,
hey now,
hey now,
I go honey. Oh,
Jackamo-fina, anane.
Jackamo-fina, talk about hey now,
Hey now,
hey now,
hey now,
I go honey. Oh, Jackamo-fina, Jackamo-fina, one more time. Hey now,
hey now,
hey now.
hey now,
I go honey, oh, Jackamo-fina, Jackamo-fina.
This song is called I Wish You Could Know Me Now, written by Tom Todor. And here we go.
Wish you could know me now. Couldn't we forget somehow? So many things were left unsaid. I let it all go to my head. Putting down the bottle wasn't easy. Like losing the best thing I've ever known. The truth is, the best thing was right in front of me, and I was just too blind to see. You became my crush, and I suppose I leaned too much. But how much stress can one crutch take before she starts to break? Wish you could know me now. I wish you could see how much I've grown. Oh, yeah, yeah. I know that you would be so proud of me. Oh, God, that comforts me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Talk again someday and say all the things we need to say. And I hope your your heart is still free. And you saved a little room for me. I wish you could know me now. 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 I wish you could see how much I've grown. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Know that you would be so proud of me. Oh God, that comforts me. Oh, oh, oh. I wish you could know me now. Couldn't we forget somehow? So many things were left unsaid. I let it all go to my head. I wish you could know me now. 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 One more time. I wish you could know me now. I wish you